Hey, everybody. Welcome in to Path to the Playoffs. Casey Phillips here with senior writer and editor Scott Smith. And this is where we talk about all the scenarios about getting the Buccaneers into the playoffs, what it's going to take, what seed they might get. And we definitely have a clearer picture now than we have in any of these other recent weeks. I feel like when we've talked about this, it was, well, if this, and then also this, and if this. Now it is a little bit more simple on what needs to happen for the Buccaneers to get into the playoffs. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, last week we were hoping for a tie, if you recall. All I know is that all I want for Christmas under this tree is the first playoff berth for the Buccaneers since 2007. And Casey, it's right there. It's right there. All the Bucs have to do. In fact, 3 teams have already qualified for the NFC playoffs: Green Bay, New Orleans, and Seattle. The Buccaneers are next in line to be the 4th. Nobody can get that before them. They play on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And if the Buccaneers beat the Lions in Detroit, they will be in the playoffs no matter what anybody else does. Clinched, done. There's still some more to play for, but it'll be an awfully good feeling. And then the Buccaneers can just enjoy that all Sunday because they will play it on Saturday and they can watch the other teams play. If the Buccaneers do lose to the Lions, which we don't really want to contemplate, they can still get in on Sunday if the Bears lose. And in fact, the Bears game is probably the biggest game of the whole weekend in terms of the NFC playoffs, because if the Bears lose, it comes really close to basically deciding the NFC field, because a Bears loss would put the Rams in, it would put the Bucs in, and if the Cardinals win, it would put the Cardinals in. So that's really the biggest game of the weekend other than our own.
That's going to be really interesting to watch. And of course, we talked about the idea of them clinching, but there still are all the questions of what seed, that it is not decided where exactly they would be by clinching. There's still a bunch of things up in the air, including even still the NFC South.
Well, first of all, the Jets beat the Rams last week, which was the biggest upset of the season and probably didn't make a lot of Jets fans happy because it may cost them Trevor Lawrence in the upcoming draft. But man, it happened. Nobody saw that one coming. And the interesting thing about that is it really created an opportunity for the Buccaneers. Because of that decision, that outcome, the Buccaneers now control their own outcome in terms of moving up from the 6th to the 5th seed. If Tampa Bay wins their last 2 games, they will be the 5 seed no matter what happens with Seattle and the Rams. And the reason for that is the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams play each other this weekend. If Seattle wins, they win the division, they're out of the wild card race, and the Rams will be 9-6, and the most wins they can get is 10. Remember, in this scenario, the Buccaneers win out and are 11-5. The Rams win on Sunday, it won't clinch them the division, but it'll get pretty close. And if Seattle ends up in the wild card spot and both the Bucs and the Seahawks are 11-5, it'll go down to the 3rd tiebreaker, which is common games. And the Buccaneers will win that, having a 4-1 record against the teams that both Seattle and the Bucs have played. And Seattle has a 2-3 record in those games. I know it's complicated, but a lot of it has come down to games against Minnesota and the Giants. Really, the big game was that the Bucs beat the Giants, but the Seahawks lost to the Giants. Isn't it crazy how those random games during the middle of the season, it could end up being the reason that the Buccaneers get the 5 seed?
Yeah, this is why all those coaches and everybody always love to talk about every game matters, one game at a time, all of those lovely cliches. You had more. I can tell you had more. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we were going to talk about how there's still a shot for the Buccaneers to win the division.
That is very true. So yes, tell us what would need to happen. I think a lot of people have just sort of written that off. And I mean, it is a long shot, but it could still happen.
I kind of wasn't even considering it as a possibility. 2 weeks ago, what the Buccaneers needed was to sweep their last 4 games and have the Saints lose their last 4 games. And you look at it and go, nah, there's no way that's happening. Well, since then, the Bucs have won 2 in a row and the Saints have lost 2. So now all you need is Bucs 2 wins, Saints 2 losses. The Saints finish up with Minnesota on Christmas Day, and then at Carolina the last week. Let's assume the Buccaneers take care of business against the Lions and the Falcons. It's not out of the question for the Saints to lose to the Vikings and the Panthers. I mean, there's some questions around their quarterback situation and how good Drew Brees is right now, how healthy he is. So this is what it comes down to. The Saints play on Christmas Day before the Buccaneers even play. If the Saints lose that game and then the Buccaneers win on Sunday, now all you need is Bucs win, Saints loss, week 17. It's totally realistic. It's something that you can root for. So talk to us again next week and we'll see if we're still have that shot.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us on Path to the Playoffs. Thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy all those fun scenarios to watch and hopefully watching a Buccaneers win. We'll see you next time.